Hi, I'm Diego O'Callahan.
And I'm Alan Smithy.
And we're Late Night Oxy.
Live!
Bringing you this week's top stories. The Occidental College series of TED Talks was recently announced because the one thing we all need in our lives is another lecture to go to.
Recently, the Green Bean began playing KOXY radio in a week-long promotional event. Also this week, sales of earplugs in the bookstore have skyrocketed.
At approximately 3:54 p.m. last week, the Marketplace Bells announced their triumphant return, much to the delight of the student body. They then proceeded to remind everyone 15 minutes later. And then 15 minutes after that. And then 15 minutes after that. And then 15 minutes after that. And then 15 minutes after that.
Reports of missing hydro flasks have increased exponentially in the past few weeks, leaving many students distraught and confused without their flasks. That being said, lectures have been a lot quieter recently. Son of a bitch!
Local student Pablo Nuquea lost his 2-terabyte hard drive recently, which contained an undisclosed amount of unreleased footage from various Catalyst shows, the In Development Detox documentary, and numerous senior projects. Any leads on its whereabouts will be reported to Pablo Nuquea on Facebook. Please.
Last week, President Veach announced that the school would be fined $87,000 for noncompliance with the Clarity Act, including $27,000 for failing to compile crime statistics and an additional $20,000 for failing to maintain an accurate crime log. Now think about it. With $87,000, you could afford to go to Oxy for a year without financial aid and still have some money left over. With 87 grand, you could buy 58,000 grilled cheeses from the cooler. Getting that email from Veach was like getting a call from your dad saying, I had your tuition for next year, but I invested all in the Weinstein Company 2 weeks ago.
Homecoming weekend has come and gone, and along with it, many visiting parents. So now both groups can resume with their heavy midweek drinking. Additionally, homecoming weekend saw a fair, soccer games, and performances from student groups. Although it feels like something was missing.
The annual homecoming football game was recently canceled, highlighting the team's incredible misfortunes this season. While the move surprised many, it should have become clear what was happening when President Veach told the team to think of the rabbits.
In an attempt to bolster the team's numbers, open tryouts have been announced, with the only prerequisites being the abilities to breathe air, walk, and not sexually assault women. Although the last point is negotiable. Reporting live from tryouts is our sports correspondent, Jesus McAllister. Jesus, how's it looking down there?
It's looking great, Diego, and it's Jesus.
Yeah, great, Jesus. Just get on with the tryouts.
Fine, whatever. Okay, so I'm here at Occidental's football team's first open tryouts. It's going, how you would expect it to go, basically. Ever since Occidental's football team got in a little trouble a while back, their numbers have been seriously dwindling. So, of course, they're holding these open tryouts. And these players are enthusiastic. Yeah, that's a word I would use. Enthusiastic. We've got freshmen trying out. We've got women trying out. We got grandmas trying out. We even got a stray cat trying out. It's wonderful. Hey you, lanky boy, get over here.
Who?
Pick it up.
Me?
Yeah. You're trying out, aren't you?
Well,
trying out for the football team.
yeah, I was just walking by and they were handing out these goldfish. And, and they told me that if I take these goldfish, I get to try out for the football team. So I took the goldfish. I'm trying out for the team.
Attaboy, way to show your Occidental school spirit. Anyway, you are trying out. Have you any previous athletic experience?
No, I've never been on a sports team before because of my black lung. I was raised in the mines, and my dad was a miner. He would just bring me down there, leave me there overnight, and so my lungs are just black. They're just coal. There's coal in them.
That sounds like child abuse. We're gonna steer away
Jesus,
from that.
ask a lanky boy if he's got any prior athletic experience under his belt.
I already asked that, but to humor my host, have you had any experience with athletics?
Well, I was cut from the track team in 6th grade. Tried out for the track team, and the coach just told me, Jacob, you got paper skin, you got glass bones, you're not going to make it on this team. but I wanted to prove him wrong. So I ran 95 miles a week for 3 years. The next 3 years, I didn't make the team any of the years. I was running 16, 17-minute miles.
95 miles a week at 17-minute miles. That's pretty impressive. That shows dedication.
I was running 7, 8 miles a day.
Well,
Jesus, ask a lanky boy about his background, major, blood type, criminal record, the works.
yes, of course. What is your major, blood type, and criminal history?
Well, my major blood type is A, but sometimes I like try out B.
Are you thinking of switching blood types?
Yeah, no, I have 2 blood types running around my system, right?
You're double blood type.
It's a part of the black lung.
You're double blood type.
Yeah, because I've got my normal blood and then the blood that's flowing in my black lung right now.
That must take a lot of blood credits.
Yeah, it's a lot of nodal blood credits. But my major at Occidental College here, I'm an English major.
Oh, okay.
English grammar.
That fits really well with the whole football thing, really.
Yeah. No, the grammar of football really is just it's incredible. The syntax, the way that the team is set up, it's incredible.
That sounds amazing. But you neglected to tell us your criminal history, sir.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're a perfect shoo-in for the team, it looks like.
Oh,
you
really?
see, yeah, basically everyone trying out has some criminal history. Yeah. All right, give him hell, kid. Get
Give
the
him
fuck
hell.
out of here.
Come on.
We are short on time, so back to you, Diego.
Thanks, Jesus! After canceling the homecoming game, the Oxy administration announced that the remainder of the season would also be canceled, citing concern for the players' safety as the primary reason. In response, the football team did what any group of rational, mature adults would do.
Almost immediately following the cancellation of the season, it was reported by the Occidental Weekly that an anonymous party related to the football team filed a Title IX complaint against the school, citing anti-male bias, which leads us into a segment we like to call, That's Not How Title IX Works.
Now, before we begin the segment, Alan, would you like to explain exactly what Title IX is?
Of course, Diego. Title IX is a law passed in the 70s that attempts to eliminate discrimination based on sex from higher education that is federally funded. Now, it does not only apply to women, it does, however, apply to the underrepresented sex, which in most cases is women, meaning that's not how Title IX works.
Additionally, in this instance, in regard to Occidental, the football team is kind of the most represented group on campus, wouldn't you say?
As long as we're not counting men's ultimate, which is also a men's team.
True. But they're not federally funded, are they? At least directly by the school.
I actually don't know about that off the top of my head, but if they're not, then that would change nothing about this, really.
And let's look at this objectively here. The football team received the most financial funding out of any group on campus, totaling $400,000 plus annually. That doesn't sound very underrepresented or disadvantaged, wouldn't you say?
It does not, meaning that's not
how Title IX works.
And on top of that, Title IX is not judged in the realm of athletics based on single teams. It is the athletic programs of each of the sexes. So it's the men's programs against the women's programs. A single team being underrepresented does not make it a violation of Title IX, meaning
that's not how Title IX works. Additionally, the football team, or whoever party it is that filed the complaint, filed it on grounds of anti-male bias linked to, and I quote, faulty equipment and disregard from the athletic director. That's a little questionable there. Faulty equipment compared to sexual harassment and discrimination. That's a little disparate, wouldn't you say?
It is. It is indeed.
Just a little bit. A little bit.
And even if it wasn't the football team themselves who filed this complaint, what it is a misuse of resources that could be better spent advocating for survivors of sexual assault or fighting true gender discrimination on campus. Meaning that this is not how Title IX works.
I couldn't have put it any better myself, Alan. The Occidental Glee Club had its fall concert this past homecoming because unlike some other campus organizations, their roster was doing just fine. I mean, do you think the Glee Club cancels every time a couple altos gets a cough? Hell no! The last time Glee Club had a thin roster, there was 6 seasons of television about it, where one guy OD'd, another guy started watching kiddie porn. Glee Club doesn't cancel for anything. The show must go on. Glee, Cadence, and Accidentals are like primetime programming. Tiger football is like if the cast of Blue Mountain State got into Whippets and lost their scholarship.
And it looks like that's all the time we have for this week.
I can't deal with this shit. Too old for that. Gah. Anyways, that's all we got for this. It's been a long week, so I think from all of us here at Late Night Oxy, live, good night.
We'll see you next week.